To refine the concept of a valid argument or valid arguments, let's consider an example. And let's ask ourselves, is this a valid argument? In other words, remember that definition. Is it impossible for the premises of this argument to be true and the conclusion to be false? If everything is caused, then no one acts freely. Everything is cause, therefore no one acts freely. Now, before you get your bowels in an uproar about this, I'm going to tell you that this is a valid argument. That is, yes, it is a valid argument, which might get you very disturbed because it says you never act freely. But I'm just claiming that the argument is valid. That does not necessarily mean it's a good argument. We still have to think about whether or not those premises are acceptable. Let's consider another one. If God exists, there's no evil. God exists, therefore there is no evil. Valid? Yes. Again, good or sound argument? Well, that depends on whether those premises are acceptable or not, and I don't want to talk about it right now because right now we're just looking at what might be called the logic of the arguments. Now let me ask you, is there something that these two arguments have in common? Is there something similar between these two arguments that makes them both valid? And notice they both start if something, then something else, the first thing, therefore the second thing. Look at both of them. It's the same thing. If everything's caused, no one acts freely. The first thing, everything is caused, therefore the second thing. If the first thing, God exists, then there's no evil. God exists, the first thing, therefore the second thing, there is evil. And if you notice, they both seem to follow the same form or pattern of argument. And let us turn to that pattern of argument.